it is certainly the city's position that, we don't want to have these cases going forward. We'd like to have them dismissed as soon as possible. And that's why we moved to dismiss at this stage rather than going on and on, having discovery and depositions and a trial. If we can get the matter dismissed at this early stage, it saves the city a lot of money.
No, I've been in this business way too long. The judge has already decided he's going to put off the injunctive relief question until later in the day. So we knew that today's hearing was only about the procedural motion brought by the defendants.
Basically, we've argued that there's a concept in the law that's called official immunity, and that protects the governing body, like the city, from claims. There's also something called legislative immunity when, for example, the city council votes on things. You can't then go back and sue the city council because it voted one way or the other. The law has recognized that they're immune from those sorts of suits because they'd be sued all the time if somebody's unhappy with the legislation.
We drafted a very carefully pleaded complaint that addresses the concerns of the municipal clerk and Marshal Countryman, and we believe that what we have alleged are redressable wrongs, that the city council and the city officials have acted inappropriately and improperly, and the judge let it go forward and decided on the merits and not on a procedural motion.
Well, I was encouraged by the judge's reactions and his feedback. I think that he's going to consider the matter carefully. We briefed it very thoroughly. This case is very law intensive, and I think we have some very good legal principles that in the end will win the day.
Part of what we had to do in the complaint was to establish what the problems were and why it was that the judge could and should act on those problems. We're not required under the Civil Practice Act and Georgia procedural law to identify and articulate each and every particularized event that forms the basis of a complaint. So what we were fussing about, if you will, is whether or not there's sufficient facts alleged in the complaint to support other conclusions in the complaint, and then whether or not legal principles apply to those disputes.